This is the Sunday Motivational Video. Every Sunday, we bring you a different type of video which should improve your life. Today, we're looking at 15 books Bill Gates thinks everyone should read. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Aluxers. What an amazing week it's been. Hope you ladies and gents have crushed it as well. One of the most popular messages we receive concerns book recommendations, and despite us doing quite of those, you guys just seem to want more. What you need to remember before this video is that your average person reads 1.5 books per year, while your average top CEO reads over 50 books per year. They do this so they can maintain a competitive edge in the game and find new ideas that could improve both their lifestyles and companies. This time, we're taking a look at the books multi-billionaire Bill Gates thinks everyone should read because they had such an incredible impact on his own journey. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. If you want to learn where Bill Gates' ideas come from, just start picking up some of these books. You'll find links in the description for each book mentioned in the video. So, with that said, let's get going. Number 1. Life is What You Make It by Peter Buffett. If that last name sounds familiar, it's because it definitely should. Peter is the son of the third richest man in the world, Warren Buffett. The book centers on a really powerful idea that can dramatically change the way you approach life. Will you take the path of least resistance or the path of potentially the greatest satisfaction? His father is well known for vouching to donate most of his fortune to charity when he passes away. Both he and Bill do not give their children any of the money they've earned. Instead, they try to educate them as best they can. That's why this book is so valuable. Imagine Warren Buffett is your father, and all he wanted to leave you was his knowledge. The most valuable thing Warren passed down to his son, apart from his last name, is the philosophy his parents used to get the position they find themselves in today. The book looks at how to forge your own path and is definitely a recommended read. Although the book is quite expensive at $22, if you go to alux.com/freebook and sign up, you can get the audio version for free. And if you'd rather read something else, you can use that URL to get any of the books we mentioned here in this video. Number 2. Where Good Ideas Come From by Steven Johnson. This is such a great book, and let me tell you why. You know how some of you want to be rich and successful, but feel you simply don't have that great idea that could change the world? This book is for you. It looks at how great ideas transform over time, and just how much it takes for an idea to evolve from seed to fruition. Most of you probably think that one amazing idea will suddenly hit you, resulting in you finally having that eureka moment, but that's not really the case. Instead, this book will teach you how to change the way you think in order to generate valuable ideas, no matter where you live or your environment. Number 3. Moonwalking with Einstein by Joshua Foer. Joshua Foer is a memory expert. To put it simply, this book will teach you how to remember more, if not everything you read and hear. This is an incredible tool to have in your arsenal, Aluxers. We always thought of this kind of skill as mind gymnastics, where you can train your mind to do something that the average person simply isn't able to do, thus giving you an unfair advantage in life. The book is funny, and we still use concepts from this book in everyday life. If you go through this book, you'll finally be able to remember someone's name when you meet them. Number 4. Tap Dancing to Work by Carol Loomis. After 40 years of covering Warren Buffett's evolution from a young investor to becoming the most successful investor the world has ever seen, Carol Loomis wrote a book. In it, you'll have an inside look at what strategies and what frame of mind Mr. Buffett has and still uses to protect and grow his fortune. You'll get a glimpse on how he makes decisions on everything, not only business. This is a recommended book to anyone who's looking to understand how to position yourself in an ever-changing market. Number 5. Making the Modern World by Vaclav Smil. This is a really fascinating book about how our civilization is shifting and using resources. Reading this type of book will help you understand macro trends and allow you to prepare for what's happening next. Making the Modern World takes a look at how China is rising and countries in Asia are in their early stages of development. These countries will see a boom in almost every sector imaginable. Just to give you an example, let's take China. In the last 3 years, China used more cement than the United States did in the last 100 years. Chinese consumers now buy more luxury products than the rest of the world combined, and this is just the beginning. If you want to understand why this is happening, what effects this will have, and how to be ready for it, go ahead and get the book. If you're interested in leveraging your future to your advantage, check out our video, The 15 Jobs That Will Disappear in the Next Decades Due to Automation, by clicking in the top right corner. Number 6. The Sixth Extinction by Elizabeth Kolbert. If last time it took a meteorite to wipe out the dinosaurs, this time it's us, humans, that are doing the damage. Animal numbers are dropping rapidly. You know elephants? Yeah, the last elephant in the wild is expected to die 20 years from now. Your grandchildren will likely see lions, tigers, elephants, and rhinos only in animation movies and on the internet. It doesn't matter if you believe in science or not, the climate is changing as well, without your approval. We're already far down this rabbit hole. The problem is, we're accelerating without realizing the irreparable damage that we're doing. Bill recommends this book because it makes it easy to understand the kind of impact humanity has on the environment, and out of it, numerous opportunities will arise for those who'll be able to fix some of these issues. Will it be you? Number 7. The Man Who Fed the World by Leon Hesser. Dr. Norman Borlaug is credited with saving hundreds of millions of lives from starvation, more than any other person in history. He might just be the most incredible man you'll ever hear of. This book covers his story. It's a bit hard to read, but the story is so good that it will keep you interested. His journey from realizing that the population is increasing at a faster pace than we can produce food, to figuring out how to solve the food problem for the entire planet, is just incredible. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, and it doesn't matter where you live in the world. If you're studying agriculture, you'll learn about Norman, because he is the man who fed the world. Number 8. The Rosie Project, a novel by Graham Simsian. If the previous books on this list were a bit more focused, this one is a light romance novel. Can you believe one of Bill's 15 most recommended books is a love story? The Rosie Project follows a genetics professor who is super socially awkward. Think of Sheldon Cooper, who goes about finding a wife in the most mathematical sense possible. He makes a list of the characteristics he looks for in a future spouse, but all of a sudden meets this woman, Rosie, who's the total opposite of what his list included. It's a moving and hilarious novel, which we recommend to anyone who's searching for love. Number 9. The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Hi there, you old sport. Bet you didn't expect to see 2 romance novels on this list, did you? The Great Gatsby is one of our all-time favorite stories. You probably know about it, or at least have seen the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. We always said that as you get older, if you reread the book, you'll find something new every time. It's one of those love stories which is layered with hooks. No matter where you are in your life, you'll identify with one of the people in the story. And it doesn't hurt that it brings you into the life of Jay Gatsby, his lavish parties on Long Island, and his undying love for Daisy. Number 10. Business Adventures, 12 Classic Tales from the World of Wall Street, John Brooks. This is Bill Gates' favorite business book, so you know we had to include it. It's a combination of stories from Wall Street meant to represent valuable and universal principles, which are key to any entrepreneur. This book was gifted to Bill by his mentor, Warren Buffett, in 1991, if you needed another reason to go get it. What we found fascinating about this book is the world of money is very cyclical in nature, which means that some things tend to happen again and again. We've seen this several times with real estate crashes, with big manufacturers, with stocks, and we're starting to see similar behaviors in the crypto space as well. If you're curious to learn why this is Bill's favorite business book, you can go to alux.com/freebook, sign up, and get it for free as an audiobook. And if you're interested in learning which are our favorite business books, click in the top right corner to watch our video on that. Number 11. How to Lie with Statistics by Daryl Huff. People use data to manipulate perception every single day. Every marketing campaign, every new drug commercial, every politician and social cause is using data in order to shift the public's perception in their favor. This book breaks down how this happens. It's a very valuable insight to understand how probabilities work and how fair of a chance you have to make it in life. Not only does it provide you with a fundamental understanding of how sampling works, but it's clear, concise, funny, and not too complex, so you can get through it and feel like you should recommend it to others as well. Number 12. Sapiens: A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. If you're a longtime viewer, you've heard us mention this book before. We picked it up after Bill Gates, Barack Obama, and Mark Zuckerberg. Sapiens covers a brief history of humankind in a way we've never encountered before. It's incredibly enjoyable, and you feel like you're getting smarter with every page you turn. It's one of those books which everyone should read. If it were up to us, this would be mandatory study material in school. From food to religion to politics to money, this book accurately explains how all of them came to be and gratefully navigates their evolution in a very enjoyable and educational manner. It's a well-written book and a great purchase. Number 13. Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Outliers is a fascinating book. You might have heard of the fact that you need to spend 10,000 hours at something to be successful. Well, it comes from this book right here. Malcolm Gladwell is one of those minds we are lucky to have around because his work is just timeless. Talent is overrated. Being successful in life boils down to simple criteria, which most of us are not aware of. Your shot at being a professional athlete is directly influenced by the month in which you're born, and your short-term memory is directly affected by the language you think in. You're going to have fun reading this book and be able to now make connections you couldn't have before. It's easy to see why Bill would put this in his top 15. We would as well. Number 14. The Box by Mark Levinson. Life is changing, evolving into something different, one little change at a time. This book was written by an economist who's showcasing the massive impact a simple idea had on the worldwide trade. It's about the invention of the shipping container and how hard it was to make it mainstream, but once it was mainstream, the impact was incredible. Despite being a very useful invention, it took incredible sums of money and high-stakes negotiation with industry giants. The adoption changed geography as we know it, because it was not possible to ship things for really cheap, so you could have your factories far, far away. You wouldn't expect shipping containers to have that big of an impact or that interesting of a story, would you? Number 15. How Not to Be Wrong by Jordan Ellenberg. You know how the math you learn in school is dull and boring? Believe it or not, there is a different type of math that makes everything fascinating. This book explores the hidden structures underneath casual and chaotic events, and how you can use this type of knowledge to get an advantage in your endeavors. It'll answer casual questions like, how early should you get to the airport? What does public opinion really represent? Why do tall parents have shorter children? And how likely are you really to develop cancer? It's one of those Freakonomics-like books, which you can enjoy while on a plane. This book is $25, but if you go to alux.com/freebook, you can get the audio version for free when you sign up. Bill Gates is such an inspiration to us here at Alux, and we enjoy digging in to see what kind of books he would recommend to his friends. Hopefully at least a couple of these caught your attention and will make it onto your reading list. Apart from Bill Gates, who is your inspiration? Let us know in the comments below and we'll make sure to join in the conversation. And as always, as a reward for watching the video all the way to the end, you get a bonus book. Number 16. The Innovators: How a Group of Hackers, Geniuses, and Geeks Created the Digital Revolution by Walter Isaacson. This is more like a history book of how the world transitioned from the Industrial Revolution to the digital age we find ourselves in today. This is a super interesting read for anyone who's in the technology space, and even more so if you live in the Bay Area. You'll learn stories you never heard of before, and you'll understand what made America so successful from a technology perspective, how information should be free, and how things are evolving. Something interesting we learned from this book. Did you know the current CEO of YouTube, Susan Wojcicki, used to rent her house to Sergey and Larry when they were founding Google? They are definitely the type of tenants you'd want to have. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an A-Luxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.